And so Bruce, he goes and changes, and then he just walks into the casino. The thing is, though, apparently he doesn't remember what table the Joker's at, and so he just fucking starts punching all the people. Like, he's like, Joker! He goes up and he grabs this guy who just happens to be dressed as Joker. He's like, sir! And he starts pummeling him. He's like, sir, please! And the Joker's like, oh, shit. I gotta get out of here. And so Joker, he starts fucking running. Hello, and thank you for checking out the video. I just want to let you know that I not only create content on my YouTube channel, Class in the Glass, but I'm also on Twitch, where I review movies, cartoons, and TV shows live, while also playing single-player games and multiplayer games. I also have a Patreon, where subscribers have access to hundreds of video and audio commentaries for films and cartoons, as well as podcasts and videocasts. In the meantime, thank you again for watching, and enjoy the video. I think we can go ahead and jump into my review for Batman the Animated Series, episode 41, Joker's Wild, which, you know, obviously, throughout the animated series, the Joker got a lot of episodes geared towards him because he's such a fantastic character, Chad. He's the arch nemesis of Batman. Of course, you're going to indulge the Joker. And you have Mark Hamill doing a hell of a performance in this particular episode, Chad. And we start at Arkham Asylum, Chad. We're right outside of it. It houses the mentally afflicted people of Gotham City and some of the worst criminals to ever reside there, Chad. We go inside the asylum itself, kind of the recreational area at this point. And I kind of like this, because I like to kind of like see what the everyday life and what the culture of Arkham Asylum is. And we're in the recreational area, and we have like Mad Hatter and Scarecrow. We have, you know, Jervis Tetch and Dr. Jonathan Crane. And they're playing chess with each other. So I like to think like, oh, I guess like the Mad Hatter, maybe Scarecrow are like friends or something. Or, you know, they kind of respect one another. At the very least, maybe respect each other. And maybe perhaps they're like acquaintances. We have Pamela Isley, Chad, also known as Poison Ivy. Which, you know, she got all messed up after trying to turn Alfred into a fucking tree. And she's residing there as well. And she's watching a garden show. Typical. She's watching fucking the HG network, chat. You know how they're always flipping homes and like planting flowers. That's what she's watching. But oh shit, chat. You hear him before you see him. The Joker has entered the recreational room. The guards have escorted him in there. And he makes a fucking beeline right towards the TV and changes the chat to like a Comedy Central, because he wants to watch, you know, fucking Futurama and, you know, The Daily Show and stuff. And Pamela Isley's like, I was watching that, and now you're watching this, so shut the fuck up. And he goes ahead and he sits down, and she's like, but I want to watch my plant show. He's like, Pamsy, take it easy. You'll be able to watch it anytime. For right now, I need to watch my stories. And then she's like, guard! And the guard comes over. He's like, what's going on? And she's like, he turned the channel. I was watching my plant shows. And he's like, me? No, it wasn't me. I would never do that. And the children wonder why we fight. And the guard's like, all right, listen, both of you need to relax, be calm. And he goes to the TV. It's like, listen, we'll go ahead and we'll watch the news, all right? This is what we're going to do. And Joker's like, no problem at all. That's fine with me. And Pamela's like, fine, I don't care. It's like, of course you don't, Pam. And they go ahead and they start watching the news. And it's this broadcast. We have Summer Gleason filling in for Vicky Vale, of course. And it's she's in front of this like huge compound, basically. And I guess it's going to be the reveal of Cameron Krieger's newest attraction. Or excuse me, not Cameron Krieger. Cameron Kaiser, who is this big industrialist, chat. He builds hotels over the country, and he's building his latest attraction right in the middle of Gotham City. But no one knows what it is. No one knows what the aesthetic of the casino is going to be. And of course, she goes up to Cameron Kaiser is like, can you give us a hint at what you think this attraction is going to be? He's like, oh, no, you got to wait for the debut. It's about to happen in the next few minutes, Cam. I'm not going to give you an extra scoop. And she goes to like Mr. Wayne. Bruce Wayne is also there, chat. And she's like, Mr. Wayne, do you have any insider knowledge of Cameron Kaiser's newest casino? He's like, no, I'm just as much as in the dark as you are, Summer. And he's got like this hot, young, blonde bombshell right around his arm, chat, but it's a facade. It's a facade. He doesn't care. And then Kaiser's like, he steps up on the podium and he's like, I just want to thank everyone for being here today. I'm so excited to debut our newest casino here in Gotham City. It's going to bring so many new jobs and other opportunities for Gotham citizens. And well, without further ado, let's reveal the casino. And all these sheets come down, chat, and we see the Joker's face plastered everywhere. We have this giant spinning just Joker, like Leviathan-sized tower with his head just spinning around going, ha, 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 ha. Everyone's like, oh my God, they can't believe. Even the Joker's like, what? He's infuriated by what he sees. And even Summer Gleason, she's like, oh my God, I'm gonna be sick. And her cameraman's like, Summer, you're live, you're on. She's like, oh shit, yeah, so here is the debut of Cameron Kaiser's newest casino in Gotham. Let's get some reactions. And she goes to Bruce and she's like, Mr. Wayne, your reactions to Cameron's newest casino. And Bruce is just fucking staring at this shit like, you gotta be kidding me. And he looks at the camera and says, I have no comment. And he just fucking walks away. Even the blonde bombshell's like following behind him. It's like, Bruce, oh my God, that's a fucking gamble and shit. He's like, shut up. And they walk away. And then Summer, she goes to Mr. Kaiser. She's like, Mr. Kaiser, why would you style a casino off of one of the greatest criminal masterminds of our time? And he's like, listen, all right, my casino is obviously based off of the Joker playing card. I can't help that maybe there's some type of aesthetic resemblance to some crazed, terrorist. I mean, that's not my responsibility. Are we just gonna stop having clowns featured in carnivals or in birthdays? No, I think not. And the Joker's like, you motherfucker. He is so pissed. He is so pissed. He's looking at this, and Pamela's like, ooh, Joker, I actually like what they've done. She's like, shut up! And everyone starts laughing. Everyone can't believe what they're saying. Mad Hatter and Scarecrow, they can't believe it. And Dapple thinking on base. I imagine having a casino themed after a mass murderer, the Stalin Hotel and Casino. Ooh, I love it. That's kind of what he basically did. And it just sets Joker off. And he even, he grabs the remote, and he just fucking, he chucks at the TV, destroys the TV. Guards come over, and are like, okay, what the hell is going on here? It's like, what do you see what they did to me? Using my wonderful smile. And they put it on that gaudy casino. I won't stand for it. Oh, I'm feeling faint. I need a doctor. Please, I need a doctor. And they're like, all right, we'll get Dr. Bartholomew through you. Here, come with us, Joker. And, Pamela's like, bye, Joker. See you later. And he's like, oh, you fucking bitch. And so they take Joker to the infirmary. But it's all fucking facade, Chad. He's like, okay, you wait here, and I'll get Dr. Bartholomew, who was featured in previous episodes, Chad. Like when Batman was taken to the asylum, and he had to deal with Scarecrow that one time. It's the same Dr. Bartholomew. But Joker is like, oh, what a fucking putz. And he fucking steps out. He's like, oh, this is almost too easy. And he walks in, but the guard knows Joker. The thing is, he's like, I've dealt with him for so many years at this point, and he sees him walking away, or getting away. And as Joker just starts fucking running around the asylum, he comes to a janitor, and he just fucking bludgeons him to death. It's like, go. And then he starts just mixing all these various chemicals together and puts them in a bucket. And then all these security guards finally get out, like they're almost like right behind Joker. And he's like, okay, kiddies, let's find out what Joker has in this bucket. Is it a deadly poison? Or is it just some soapy water that'll make the floor all slippery? You decide. And he fucking throws it at him. They go, ah! Ah! They're all fucking melting and shit. It's horrifying, chat. And he continues because, all the fucking rest of the guards come in there, but they see their fellow employees just fucking melting, chat. It's like, Jesus Christ, you do not want to have the Joker throw some type of chemical at you, chat, because it'll either deform you or it will melt you. You don't want that to happen. But he takes off running. Eventually, he ends up on the other outside of the asylum. But he still has the giant industrial fence all around it with the barbed wire. It's electrified and shit. But thankfully, the Joker, he has like a shit ton of handkerchiefs that he pulls out of his ass, ties them all together. And he has like a grappling hook on it. And he's like, don't do this at home, kids. And he fucking throws the grappling hook over, chat, attaches to this truck, which just passes by, fucking yeets himself over the fence, chat, and he climbs on top of the truck. And then they have the truck driver who looks like fucking Mario from Mario Brothers. I mean, he's wearing, literally, chat, watch the episode, he's wearing blue overalls with a red shirt. And he has a red cap on. I felt like, oh, your reference. It felt probably all the animators were playing Super Mario Bros. Back in 1992, and so like, oh, let's just put Mario in there. He even has like a fucking mustache and a goatee, and Joker. He climbs on top of the truck and presents himself, not in a sexual nature, although maybe he possibly does it later on, presents himself right in front of the windshield, just punches through the windshield, rips the guy out, and throws him. And he tumbles down the road. He's like, I just killed myself. But before I do, I want to kill Cameron Krieger. And so he drives away. Eventually, chat, when he swears revenge against Cameron Krieger for using his image, chat, because he wants his fucking money. Eventually, we cut to Alfred, chat. Alfred, he has brought a shit ton of Batman stuff to the casino, chat. Joker's wild. Because Batman's like, Bruce is like, okay, something's up here. There is no way someone like Cameron Krieger would decide to build a casino in the image of the Joker. It's stupid. There has to be more to this. And he's asked Alfred to bring all of his Batman stuff material because he's going to infiltrate the casino itself. And so, and Alfred's like, okay, I got all this stuff for you. So he's like, no problem, Alfred. You just sit here and you relax and, play the slot machines. He's like, way ahead of you, sir. So Alfred kind of fucks off for the rest of the episode. Bruce gets his Batman gear, gets his Batman Batpack, which we saw in Heart of Steel Part 1 and Part 2. I also guess Night of the Ninja as well. But he then gets into the office of Cameron Krieger, and he's investigating everything. He sees like these models and things, and he like takes off the facade, like this one model, and it's all Camelot thing. It's all like knights and kings and shining armor and all that stuff. Oh, and even when they were in the room, I forgot to mention, when like Alfred's like, okay, how do you know he's a wealthy industrialist? Why would he build like this $1 billion casino? And Bruce is like, even look, like he rips off some of the wallpaper with the like Joker's face, and it's like all these playing cards and things. And he's like, yeah, this was all done very quickly. And he's like, huh. But he breaks into Cameron Krieger's office, starts investigating all the models and things and files, and he notices that Cameron Krieger took out millions upon millions of dollars from the bank. And Chad apparently has been doing a shit ton of research on the Joker. And we also get we see the Joker's real name, Jack Napier, which is the name of Jack Nicholson's Joker. And so for this episode, it's funny. Jack Nicholson got paid for this episode because they used the Jack Napier name in this. He had a special clause in his Batman 89 contract for any time Jack Napier is mentioned in any Batman property, animated, movie, a comic book, Jack Nicholson gets a percentage of that thing. So he got paid probably for when this episode debuted. which is pretty interesting. So Cameron Krieger's been researching the Joker and his history. And Batman's like, all right, this guy's up to some shady fucking shit. And then boom, the two doors to Cameron Krieger's office just explode open. And I guess Batman must have been moving around too much and been talking to himself too much, because the bodyguard's like, Batman, you're not supposed to be here. And he fucking runs up, and Batman's like, don't even try. And Batman starts pummeling the bodyguard chat. He's like, I don't have time for this. And he throws down a fucking smoke bomb, and he just gets himself, he hooks himself out of there, chat. Well, the bodyguard just fucking nearly asphyxiates, like, Batman. But he's gone by that point. Eventually, chat, because Batman, he's like, he knows that the Joker will be here. He knows the Joker escaped Arkham, and he's too vain. He's too narcissistic. He's going to show up here and try to destroy the casino. He has a feeling about this, so he's going to stick around. And lo and behold, chat, the Joker fucking arrives at the casino. But the thing is, when he's easily able to walk in, no problem, which is he can't believe it. Like, no one recognizes him, because all of the waiters and all of the card dealers and staff are either dressed up as the Joker or Harley Quinn. And he's like, oh my God, this is going to be easier than I thought. And like, you have this one employee that walks in, he's like, hey, why aren't you at your table? And he goes, excuse me. He's like, yeah, you got to fucking deal the cards over there, blackjack. He's like, oh, my mistake. Little absent-minded. I'll go ahead and take all of that. And they're like, yeah, no problem. And he like smells the money. He's like, ooh, fresh $100 bills. Well, I think I'll just indulge and have some fun before I blow this place and everyone else sky high, in a non-sexual way, of course. And so he goes up to this table, and he's like, all right, everyone, we're going to be playing blackjack. Let's go ahead and start. But he has his fucking custom deck, chat, and so he's winning all the hands that he does. He's like, oh, look at that, 21. And we're like, hey, wait a minute. It's like, oh, no, sorry, the house always wins after all. And then eventually, though, the security team, they're watching this table, and they know, it's like, okay, this employee's acting super erratic, or maybe erotic too. He's super erratic, and they call Krieger over, and he's like, excuse me, Mr. Not Cameron Kaiser. They call Cameron Kaiser over, and he's saying, like, sir, we don't believe this person is an actual employee. And Cameron Kaiser sees the Joker, and he's like, oh no, let him play. Let him play. And they're like, sir, are you sure? He's like, yeah, no problem. It's like, what's all this about? Eventually, Bruce Wayne, he spots the Joker. He's like, that motherfucker's here already. And he sits down at the table, and the Joker's like, oh, Bruce Wayne, Prince of Gotham City. So good to see you. So good to meet you, finally. Oh, I guess this is how the Waynes earned all their money, isn't it? He goes, you got me. You caught me red-handed. He's like, oh, so what kind of game do you want to play? And he's like, blackjack sounds good to me. And he starts fucking dealing everything. And the Joker, like, he gets, like, a 20 automatically, and Bruce like has a 9 at this point. But Bruce is like, I gotta ask you a question. He's like, oh, what question? He's like, I have to admit, man, it's like, I mean, what do you think about the decor here? He's like, oh, I quite like it. I love anything with a winning smile. And Bruce is like, yeah, I just think it's kind of ghastly. I mean, I'm just disgusted. Like, everyone I've talked to about this, I mean, the last thing we want to see is the Joker's face. I mean, he's one ugly son of a bitch. Joker's like, oh, well, to each their own, likes and dislikes, I suppose. And Bruce is like, oh, could you hit me? He's like, oh, sure, I'll slug you one. And he throws down some cards. And he's like, oh, look at this, lucky me, 20. And he's like, he's about to take Bruce's chips. And Bruce's like, oh, 21. And Joker's like, oh, lucky you, Brucey. He's like, yeah, no, thank you. Well, you have a nice time, okay? And he's like, yes, you as well. And then eventually, Bruce, he contacts Alfred. He's like, the Joker's fucking here. I'm going to go change. I'm going to punch him in the goddamn face. Alfred's like, right away, sir. And so Bruce, he goes and changes, and then he just walks into the casino. The thing is, though, apparently he doesn't remember what table the Joker's at, and so he just fucking starts punching all the people. Like, he's like, Joker! He goes up and he grabs this guy who just happens to be dressed as Joker. He's like, sir! And he starts pummeling him. He's like, sir, please! And the Joker's like, oh, shit. I gotta get out of here. And so Joker, he starts fucking running and like knocking over people, knocking over people's chips and everything. And eventually he gets into this car that's like, hey, you can win this car. Apparently it also has the keys right there in the ignition and has a full tank of gas. And he gets in the goddamn car, Chad, and he just starts riding around on the casino floor and he's just running people over. Whoopsie! And just killing people. And Batman's like, oh shit, I've been punching the wrong clown. And he throws the meat that he was punching on, chap. And he thrusts himself upon the car. And, you know, he's trying to hold on because the Joker's driving so erratically. He's running so many people over. He's like, oh, Betsy, I figured you'd show up eventually. Come on, let's go for a joyride. And they start riding. Eventually, they burst out of the casino through the front way, kill all the security guards at that point, and they're running because it's built on the like this boardwalk next to like Gotham Bay, and so they're riding right down the docks, chat, you know, crashing into all sorts of exhibits and food carts and stuff, and people are just getting run over and sucked underneath the fucking wheels of this car. And eventually it's like, well, Betsy, I have to bid you adieu. I have to kill Cameron Kaiser. And Joker just jumps out of the car while Batman, still in the car, goes over this fucking ramp through this giant billboard and goes right into Gotham Bay. But he did grapple hook just in time, Chad, just in time. And eventually, Joker, he goes back into the casino, you know, and he pretends to be a waiter, Chad. He pretends to be a waiter. And actually, that's what he does. He walks up to a waiter, fucking kills him, guts him. And then he takes, like, the guy's, you know, his cart, fills it with everything that he brought with him, a bunch of bombs, dynamite, C4, and then he makes his way down into this unfinished part of the casino, where we have this giant Joker, like, roulette wheel, where it has, like, the Joker's face and everything. It's like this automaton, and he starts setting up all his bombs. Meanwhile, Kaiser, he's watching the Joker do all of this on the security cameras, and he calls, like, his private helicopter pilot and says, can you ready my helicopter in 20 minutes? We're getting out of here. And right before he's about to leave, Batman just fucking bursts through, like, from the top of his window shade. He's like, all right, you motherfucker, I know what this is all about. He's like, Batman, what are you doing here? He's like, this is a fucking insurance money scheme. You are hundreds of millions of dollars in debt. You borrowed all of this from the bank, and what you're going to do is you want the Joker to destroy the casino to collect the insurance money, and you're going to let all these poor people die. And he's like, yeah, you found me out. Yes, that's true. But you know what I have, Batman? He's like, what? I have an electrified floor. And he pushes a fucking button and the entire floor of his office, like he lifts up his feet and the entire floor becomes electrified. Batman's like, and fucking Batman falls over. It's like, wow, that's a good, I have to admit, that's a good security system, Chad. Didn't expect the entire floor to be fucking electrified. Batman falls over. Eventually, the one guard that Batman beat the shit out of early, he comes in. He's all, oh, I think I have a concussion. And this other guy, you know, like, do you want us to kill him, boss? And he goes, no. Go ahead and send him down to his friend. The Joker will take care of him. And so the Batman is then sent to Joker. Joker, he's setting up all of his bombs around this unfinished section, which then cause a massive explosion, kill hundreds, if not thousands of people. But eventually he hears the elevator coming down. He hides. He's like, oh, shit, I don't want to be discovered before I have a hell of a party, of course. There needs to be fireworks. And so Batman, like, I love it because it looks like fucking Batman's drunk, where the elevator's open. He's like, oh, oh, that's a lot of electricity in my tummy. And he's just stumbling into the room, just like not really aware of where he is. And Joker just comes over and he just fucking bashes Batman over the head with a 2x4. He's like, oh, Batsy, looks like that car crash hurt you more than I thought it would. Oh, I have special plans for you. And so Joker has decided to tie Batman to the giant roulette table. And he's going to set off all the bombs with Batman there as it's spinning. But Batman's like, Joker, but before you go, are you going to let Cameron Kaiser fool you? He's like, what are you talking about, Batman? He's like, this is an entire plot by him. It's an insurance scam. He knew you would be so furious that he would use your face on his new casino. Okay? What he wants to do is have you do his own dirty work and collect all the insurance money. And Joker's like, oh, fuck me, you're right. And even the Joker's like, God damn it, you're correct. I hate it when you're right, Batsy, but don't think that'll save you. He's like, well, I'm going to go ahead and deal with Cameron. I'm sure it'll be so much fun, but you are going to be a little indisposed. How about some roulette, Batman? I'm sure you love to gamble. And so he activates the giant roulette table, chat, and he fucking throws a grenade. He's like, I always bet on black. And he fucking throws it in there. And it's like it's spinning around as he goes up the elevator to then confront Cameron. Batman manages to, even though he's tied there, he manages, like his hands are still kind of free, and he manages to get to his utility belt with his spare grappling hook, and he aims it just right and goes boom, and it shoots the grenade. It shoots the grenade, or excuse me, it hits his grappling hook, hits the grenade, attaches to it, and shoots it into the giant Joker automaton that's a part of the roulette table, and explodes it, which then causes the roulette table to stop. And Batman then gets out and escapes. Eventually, we cut back to Cameron. Mr. Cameron Kaiser, and he has just boarded his helicopter. He's like, come on, get me out of here. And the pilot's like, of course, sir, right away. And so they take off. Batman then is like right behind him. He sees the helicopter taking off, but then he looks down and he just sees this fucking guy that just been gutted by Joker, which is clearly the helicopter pilot. He's like, shit. And he runs back downstairs. Eventually, Cameron is like, come on, where are we going? You got to take off. We got to get to the airport. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, Cammy, but you're not going anywhere. We have to stay for the fireworks. But before we do, I'm going to fucking kill you. He's like, oh, Joker, you're not supposed to be here. He's like, oh, what did you expect me to do? Blow up your casino while you pocket all that money? No, I don't think so, Cammy. I think I'll run this operation for a while, make as much cash as I can, but before I do that, I'm going to play with you. And he pulls out this fucking gun. He's about to, like, shoot him in the goddamn dick. But then, little does he know, chat, Batman has his Batpack, which is a jetpack, chat. And Batman just yeets himself, goes right into the fucking helicopter, chat. And he attaches himself, he's like punching into the helicopter trying to get a Joker. And Joker's like, get off, Batsy. I don't have time to play with you. And he thrusts him off. And Batman, he then starts chasing after the helicopter. And they're kind of like going back and forth in the sky. Eventually, Joker's like, all right, I'm going to stop in midair. He stops it. Batman's like, shit. But he can't stop in time, and it looks like his bat jetpack hits the helicopter, and it careens into the giant Joker, Leviathan-sized, like, spinning statue going, ha, 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 ha. And the pack goes right into the mouth and starts chewing it up. He's like, yes, chew and swallow. The end of the Batman. But Batman, he's on the underside of the helicopter. He just opens the fucking door, and he just starts pummeling the shit. They start fighting in the cockpit of the helicopter while Cameron's just getting like a few extra punches and like stab wounds with the knife that Joker has. It's just chaos, chat. And Cameron, it's like, fucking, you're gonna get us both killed. You're gonna get us killed. Stop fighting. They're like, they don't care. They have their eternal conflict, chat. Batman v Joker is the way it has to be. Anyone else that gets involved, you're probably gonna get a crowbar to the face. Eventually, you know, the helicopter, because of all that's going back and forth and the Joker are fighting, it then careens all the way down the ground, crashes through the other end of the casino chair, explosions, and it, you know, finally hits like a whole bunch of slot machines. The rotors are like coming undone. They're almost like slicing into people and shit. It's like, it's chaos. Eventually, Kaiser, he falls out and he's just beating the shit. Joker, he falls out too, and he just fucking takes off, and he's like, oh, Batman, you know I love our little talks, but I need to get the fuck out of here. And he starts running. Batman's like, you ain't going anywhere, clown. And what he does is he gets his grappling hook, he shoots it up in the air, and he swings over, and he just fucking hits the Joker right in his back, and he goes, boom! He fucking flips, and he goes right back, hits his head in the back of some slot machines, chat, just concussing him. He's like, ooh. And all these coins start falling on the Joker's head. And he is defeated once more, chat. We then cut to Summer Gleason reporting that Cameron Kaiser had actually tried to do an insurance scheme and get the Joker involved, and Batman provided the evidence to the GCPD, but the situation has been saved, and Batman managed to save some people. I mean, a lot of them died. A shit ton of people died, but he did save a couple of people. You gotta admit that. And we cut, it's the Joker's like, oh, I hate this show. And he turns the channel because they're watching Arkham Asylum. And like all the other villains are like, don't change the channel. We're watching. And he's like, fine, whatever. And he changes it back, and he's just sitting there just like, oh, foiled again. But I'll have my revenge. Batsy. And that, my friends, is my scene by scene breakdown to Batman the Animated Series, episode 41, Joker's Wild. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you liked the crowbar. Something we get a crowbar to the face. Give your reference to Jason Todd. Thank you, Elite. Thank you. And thank you. We got a new follower coming in here, too. Journey again. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Hope you enjoyed the review. Hammer says, great review. Thank you. Thank you, champ. Batman Jetpack available at Toys R Us near you. Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. Classic Joker trap. Indeed. This guy wanted to piss off the most dangerous criminal in Gotham on purpose. This is a perfect plan that couldn't possibly blow up in my face. Well, yeah, he was arrogant. He was an arrogant man. Oh, Lord. Okay, I'm going to Hunted Anime Movie's pretty fun. Nice. I heard about that. I saw a trailer for that a little while ago. He's erratically erotic. Indeed. But chat, I hope you enjoyed my review for Batman the Animated Series, episode 41. All the Batman episodes are fantastic, chat. So goddamn good. Great job. Usually one of my favorite episodes. Mark Hamill absolutely is perfect. He is. He's perfect in the episode. He does such a great job. And there are many more Joker episodes to come in Batman the Animated Series, chat. But before we get to those good things, maybe those reviews, I'm going to take a quick break. I like how you said non-sexual in the beginning of this breakdown, and now it's just innuendos galore. It's so many innuendos. I mean, you know, you could say the Joker and Batman's relationship is a little sexual in nature. There's a lot of innuendos, no doubt about it. But I'm going to take a quick break, chat. In the meantime, please entertain yourselves amongst yourselves. We're going to be switching on over to some of that Horizon Forbidden West. Should be fun.